I'm not sure if everybody's afraid to come to the boardroom, but maybe that's what scared them off today. So anyway, so we'll just make this. I got a shirt on with no pocket. It's driving me nuts. I just have a few things that I wanted to share with everybody, and then take questions and answers. But the first thing I wanted to let everybody know is we received another award as a military-friendly school. So we've been selected by GI Jobs magazine as a military-friendly school. We're in the top 16% of all schools nationwide, and they wanted to recognize the college's steadfast commitment to educating our great nation's military veterans, and this is going to enable the U.S. to prosper for generations to come. So they have one of these plaques that'll be on display in the Veterans Resource Center, and we're going to put one somewhere else around the college or in my office. So Janet, you'll have to help me figure out where we want to do that. Just a quick update on the legislature. A week and 2 days, that's all that's left. It ends at noon Saturday the 21st. Right now we're in pretty good shape. The Senate has amended House Bill 2, which is the base operating budget for most of the state government, including higher education. Last I saw, we had about $133,000 increase in our I&G and instruction and general funding, which is really our operating dollars. But we also had the nursing expansion funding was in there at the same level as last year, but we do have 3 new line items in there. One is we have $125,000 for hospitality management, because we want to try to get New Mexico State to offer their hotel, restaurant, tourism degree here at the Higher Education Center. So that money would kind of be split probably between Santa Fe Community Colleges and New Mexico State. We have $100,000 to start a radiography technician training program, and $50,000 to start the automotive program. Those are all operating dollars, so we're really excited about those. I understand the Senate may vote for the full budget over the next couple of days. Then it has to either go to the House for concurrence or to a conference committee, and then it will go to the governor. And she does have the ability to line item veto those specific things too. Capital outlay is still being worked on. Our priorities that we gave them for capital outlay were the greenhouse program, the automotive program, and then some infrastructure projects. I'm feeling pretty comfortable because our delegation, each member of the executive and the legislative branches, each member gets some dollars to put towards projects in their area. And so our delegation has been very supportive all across the board, and many of them have put in requests to support especially the greenhouse and the automotive programs, because we wanted to really prioritize student instructional needs as opposed to infrastructure needs, because we don't have critical ones yet. We have some that could become critical because we have aging roofs and aging systems. So that's where that stands at this time. Yesterday was a busy and exciting day for those of you who didn't know. The Youth Build group, we had the third cohort go through their graduation or next step transition award ceremony, and that was in the afternoon, and there were 11 students. Their families were here. It's always a very meaningful thing to go through those kind of graduation ceremonies. But in the morning, the house that they've been working on was moved. If you haven't seen it, there's a great picture in this morning's New Mexican of it moving. I'm still trying to figure out where they took the picture, because I can see the mountains in the west, but I don't know what that building is that's over on the side. I'm going to figure that out. But anyway, it's moved. I went by on my way home last night. It's on site on the foundation. It looks like it was built there, and so I don't know how those drivers maneuver through everything, but it happened yesterday, and that was really exciting. We are working hard on the beginning phases of the fiscal year 16 budget, which is the budget that starts July 1st. Once again, just to remind everybody, the top priorities that I have right now is still restoring salaries. That's looking really good at this point in time. All our latest projections and expenditures for this year and savings, the financial stability plan is working. We're seeing the savings that we thought we would see. We knew it would take a while because salary savings kind of build up over the year. They don't happen all at once. So the financial stability plan is working. I'm very confident that the budget we will present to the board will restore all the salaries that we had to cut this year. And then a couple other things that we're looking at once we restore those salaries is I would like to see if we can increase the amount of budget available for student workers. We didn't increase the budget this year, but we did increase the pay because we went along with the living wage in Santa Fe County. So that decreased the number of hours that were available. I'd like to see if we could get the number of hours that are available back up a little bit. And then in addition to that, the living wage in Santa Fe County is going from $10.66 an hour to $10.84, something like $10.84 an hour. That's a much less increase. Last year, remember, we went from $8 an hour to $10.66 an hour because we decided to pay the living wage. So the increase doesn't have as big an impact, but it still has an impact on there. Our board committees are working. They've been working with the board finance committee, been meeting regularly to get trained. They've been meeting regularly to review the finances each month before they're presented to the board. But they will now be involved in reviewing the budget process along with the board as we finish putting the board together. So we've still got, I think, a little training to do in a couple of cases. We've got to schedule some meetings, but the board review committee will have the same binders that the governing board is going to have. And so we're working hard on getting the skeleton of those binders put together while we've got the finance team working to put the actual detailed budgets together. Basically, our starting point for next year's budget is going to be this year's budget plus the salary reinstatement. I anticipate that's everybody's budget is going to pretty much look like that. We are also going through this whole project to update our chart of accounts and our organizational structure, and so we're doing all these things at the same time. So the new budget may look a little different, especially for some budget managers in terms of the organizational structure, but it's going to make us, I think, work a lot more efficiently, allow us to use our systems better this next year. And hopefully be able to use our full banner system better in the years that come because we're transitioning to that. So it's a little challenging at the moment for the finance staff and others, and we're kind of learning as we go. But we're going to make full use of the systems that we own, that we haven't been using, and in the long run, that's going to make it a lot easier for all of us. I also have put together a draft shared governance policy, a new policy 1-11. I've shared it with all the governance groups. So I've asked faculty, staff, senate, student government, and the executive team to look at it. And I've encouraged them, I would really like to have this be on the governance council agenda in April, which means it needs to go through each of the groups with their feedback at the latest in May. I don't want to have the governance council meeting where we actually review the final and submit it to the board without faculty being here. And so the May meeting is the absolute last meeting where that could happen. If it made it through every group, we got something through governance council to take the board for a first reading in May. Even though that would happen after faculty leave, I wouldn't be uncomfortable doing that because they would have had a chance to add input to it before they left. But my preference would be to get that done in April so it can be part of a first reading at the April board meeting, which will be a big board meeting because we're going to swear in our new board member. We'll have all the budgets. We'll have a final budget adjustment for this year that we have to put together to submit to our education department. And so the April meeting is going to be pretty intense and long. The March board meeting, which is on March 31st, is not going to be very intense this month. We don't have a whole lot of action items. We are going to have a meeting of the Learning Center District Board, which is the board for the Higher Education Center. We're going to go over the a proposed advisory committee for that, and we're going to go over kind of the building closeouts. Where are we in terms of expending all the bond monies? What's left? What still has to be completed? There's some items that haven't been totally completed yet, so we'll go through that. But I don't believe there's any action items on that one. And I think the only action items right now on the Santa Fe Community College Board meeting are the financial report, which is every month, and then there are second readings of some policies that have already been through the process. So I don't need wood to knock on. I don't think this is going to be a very long meeting, but usually when I say that, it turns into a marathon. So we'll see. So that's kind of everything I just wanted to share. So I want to open it up for questions, rumor control, rumor creation, whatever we can come up with. That's what we should do. We should start a rumor. What's a good rumor we could start? Rumor of the mirth, yes, yeah.
And in what form?
And in what form? Yeah. Barb?
Who decides, how is the family chosen that will live in the new build house?
So the house was built, and the Building Trades Advisory Corporation was our customer. So they're a nonprofit that was created almost 30 years ago to provide the funding for the houses that were built by the Santa Fe High School program years ago. When the Santa Fe High School program they closed down, they came to us, and so now it's a joint deal. So they're really our customer. They are the ones that will sell it. And the money that they make off the house, if they make any, will go back into their funds to build the next house. Just to let you know, a couple of things. Number one, this house has to be sold as an affordable house, so it has to be sold under the City of Santa Fe Affordable Housing Guidelines, which I think means it has to be sold for $190,000 or less. Preference often has been given to teachers and public servants like police and fire officials. That's been even the practice in the past few years. So really, the customer for the colleges and youth build program was the Building Trades Advisory Corporation. It's theirs. Once it's finished, they take it over, they sell it to whomever they want to sell it to. So we've almost completed our obligations. It's not quite finished yet, but it's on site. So now we will be building other houses coming in the near future. We could build other houses here, just like we did this one, and move them to lots. Excuse me. We could build houses here in Oshara Village with Habitat for Humanity. So those things are all still being determined. But we did get the second round of the Youth Build grant. So we've got, this is the last year of the first year's Youth Build grant and the first year of the second Youth Build grant. And each of them has about a 3-year cycle. Okay. Yeah.
There's a question that was outside. Scheduling conference rooms is a challenge. How can this be more automated? And we answered this on the financial and rumor mill on Jack about a month ago also, that the Astra is being upgraded, but we will always have an individual or just a handful of individuals that book conference rooms, and the reason for that is so that we can juggle and prioritize when the Hamas rooms, for instance, are revenue generating, and so we won't. I don't see a time when any of us can go on online and book a Hamas room. I just don't see it happening. So.
We're trying to get more and more of both the conference rooms and the Hamas rooms so that they're more easily visible, so people can see if they're available or not. That which would help, so you don't contact somebody to book a room that's already booked. But sometimes you really need it for some reason. If it's the Hamas rooms or most rooms, you'd contact Fran, because she may be able to move some things around depending on what their needs are. But it is important to use those things. And if you do book a conference room and the meeting gets canceled, make sure you notify the person that's in charge of booking that room so they can free it up again. Because this happens all the time, that we think a room's booked and then nobody ever shows up because, we canceled that meeting. You need to get back to the person who schedules that room so they know and it becomes available to somebody else. Janet, do you know when that Astra's the update's gonna be there?
It's going on now, but I don't have a completion date. But I know there's been trainings already started. So
Right.
it's got to be pretty soon.
Okay. Yeah. Even if you knew how to get into the old one, it really wasn't that hard to see if something was booked or not. It was just you had to know how to do it. The new version is supposed to be much easier to use. So, okay.
I don't think so, not yet. But like Randy says, the idea is to allow people to see, but not to
I think from my meeting with Chris that in this new version, there are features so you can allow more people to see. They don't have to have a login. But well, let's see how that works out.
That would be convenient.
Yeah. Good. Now, and we have many of the conference rooms are on Outlook, so you can actually go and if you go into your public, scroll down in where all your folders are. If you open the public folders in there, you'll see you'll usually see some conference rooms, and you can see the ones that are on Outlook, and so you can see what's booked and what isn't booked, and you just can't you just can't book them unless you're one of the people with authority to do so. Yeah, go on the left-hand side where all your inboxes are. Keep scrolling down. You'll see one that says public folders. Click on that arrow, open it up. You may have to click a couple of places to get it to open up, but eventually you'll see some conference rooms.
I think it's just a challenge for like some of us who, work with so many different committees, and even I found this week trying to do the hiring panel, I have to schedule 8 interviews and meetings for the team, and I try to get one person on the phone, and it's just
Right.
Right.
Good.
Be efficient.
But the board breakout room is a nice room. If it's not being used, it's got about, you can seat 10 people in there comfortably. And there's a phone in there if you need to do conference calls. Because I know sometimes when we do interviews, we do some by phone. So that's got one of those good speaker phones in there, like the president's conference room. Okay. If you want to take a trip.
Hey, I might do that. Just schedule all my activities for one day.
Yeah, right. What other questions? Brian?
Another question about the house. Will it be open to tours? Can we see the construction once it's done?
I'm sure there's going to have some open houses because it'll be sold just like any other house. So there'll probably be open houses and stuff. I don't know when that date was. So did you go to the meeting this morning? I didn't go. Okay. Yeah.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah. There's still a lot of finishing touches. I mean, they got to do the stucco on the exterior, and I'm pretty sure there's some things on the interior, and then they got to bring in appliances and some of those things. And I don't know, is the high school program still going to try to build either a carport or garage, or do we know if that's still planned?
That was part of the discussion. There
Okay.
were other things with regard to elevation around the site that would probably be prioritized
Okay.
for erosion and
Right.
the lighting at Regal Park. So that will probably happen.
Okay. Good.
The graded approach.
Is there a photo gallery anymore?
I haven't seen it, right? I clicked
On Facebook.
Is there on Facebook? Yeah. Go look at, if you haven't seen the New Mexico, that picture's great. I still got to figure out. You're going to have to figure out where they took that. It's up. You can see the Hemis Mountains in the background, but it makes it look like it's a hill. There's no hill like that really on Rodeo Road. And then there's a building over in the background that's kind of clear on your right. And I keep thinking, well, what building is that? I don't have any. At first, I thought it was kind of taken in front of the Chavez Center, right around where that light is, because there is a light there. But it could be the way the focus is, because what's far away looks close. So it is a great shot, though. And then the one of it barely making it under the bridge on Richards Avenue.
It had to be inches.
Yeah, it looked like it was inches. So anyway, originally they were going to go around and go through Rancho Viejo Boulevard to Cerrillos, because the bridges are much higher on Cerrillos going under Interstate 25. But they were able to lower the tires, I think, to go under. So. Well, you know what? Maybe we may have missed an opportunity for some of our math classes yesterday. Okay, good. Yeah, Margie. Yes. Well, first of all, we are monitoring the HEC from here. So we do have cameras and videos, and so everything is monitored from here. We are in the final throes of negotiating potentially a contract to have on-site folks there in conjunction with the Santa Fe University of Art and Design. not finalized yet, but it's getting close.
I've noticed they're walking around occasionally, so I see them going through the building. But you're talking about a full-time person.
Yeah, most likely there will not be a full-time person sitting in the office. There will be people who make regular rounds, just like they do here, but it's always been monitored. Also remember the Higher Education Center being in the city, the response time, if you have to call 911, will be much quicker than in the county because there's a lot more resources in the city through Santa Fe Police, Santa Fe Fire Department than there are in the county. So we're pretty comfortable with that. We did test the security group that is Santa Fe University of Art and Design and had a call with them, and they were there very quickly. So we're looking at sharing their facility since they're right there, sharing their security service.
I don't know if you can answer this or if we may just talk to security themselves, but it's my understanding that if you were at the HEC and I called 911 on my office phone, it's going to have this address.
No, that's been fixed. Yep. Yep.
If you don't mind, I would like to join this conversation.
Sure.
With,
Come on up. Pull a chair up. This is open to everybody.
My name is Valerie. I'm a student. I'm a student leader. I'm a student ambassador, and I'm also I have 107 credits. That's my bachelor's degree. And I came back here and I'm reading these right now that I want to speak. And so I'm a huge advocate for behavioral health. I was diagnosed with PTSD when I was 16. I'm 32 years old. And I don't think that our system, the way it is, supports individuals with a disability that's non-combat PTSD. So I put something together to don't mind that we're one of your work. I'd like to give you a copy. And so I'm also a tour guide at the legislature. So I just want our state to get more involved with our culture and our heritage and the multicultural aspects that everybody belongs here in New Mexico because of the multicultural affiliations, basically. And so I've asked the legislature to adopt this on behalf of my grandfather, Johnny Block. He used to be mayor of Espanola, and he was commissioner. So I have huge family ties, but I also went through the adoption process. My grandfather was adopted. He was born as Vives Salazar, and so he was adopted, and his adopted name was Johnny Block. And I think that was because of the power and the privilege at the time, so I really researched and studied that. But I would like to do something to honor him and his remembrance and the fact that I feel God gave me back my abilities to be able to speak on the things that he's done for me, such as I've gone through CYFD, I've gone through incarcerated aspects, I went through prison by the time I was 19, back again in my early 20s. And so what's helped me is the group Bondage Breakers, that it's a men's group, but the support that they had and just, the interactions on a one-on-one basis. And so I think we need to do more to protect that population as well, because that's the population I belong to. There's not really the female paradigm, so NSLS is kind of through Ernest advising and Emily Stern, and there's some great people on this campus that have helped me to make the progress that I have, because I also have some short-term symptoms with having my children with major depressive disorder, which caused me to have some psychosis and some anxiety flare-ups and things that I've had to overcome. But it's by the grace of God that I did overcome these things, and I want to keep that alive because on our walls of the legislature and historical, and it says that it was, our Lord God Almighty that led us into liberation, and it says we're founded under God, home and country. And so the Zia people believe that the giver of all good is the one that gives us the four seasons. And so I believe it's just that same spirit that we need to reunite and get united under again as a nation. Number one is a community school, because I have so much gratitude towards this college that I can't even express that to words. But the fact that I've become educated to learn how to advocate for this, it's just, there's no price tag. And so Friday, sorry, I don't breathe. So I was a GED recipient. I got the lottery, and so I have the opportunity to be able to be in a position where I almost have a bachelor's. But I have faced various types of discrimination that were not intentional, but the way the law is right now, I'm not very protected right now in the current law. So I would just like some help and support from the community now, because the support has provided me as a student, community member. My mom went through here, and my sisters and my two little sisters haven't gotten their GED yet, but I hope to bring them here to help with my experiences, but I'm bringing them with me wherever I go. So I'm always going to extend that out, and that's what I
That
do.
means they're going to get a bachelor's degree.
I sure hope so. That's my goal for the future.
Good, you're right.
Involved and become a leader and to be able to
appreciate, I want to thank you for your advocacy. People have to always represent different groups, especially the ones that are underrepresented and need advocates out there. So appreciate that. And for those who want to look at this, I'll be willing to share this. We've talked before, and she is doing some work down at the legislature, which is always an interesting experience in itself. So appreciate that work and keeping that in mind. And I know that there have been some issues that have come up that we are concerned about, and we've had some conversations about. And one is the use of medical marijuana, even though it is legal in New Mexico, it is still legal, not legal federally. And we have federal grants and federal financial aid, and I would love to see the rules change so we wouldn't be penalized for allowing medical use, but that's not the rules as it stands right now. And so I'm hoping through some advocacy, maybe we'll see about those rules getting changed so that it doesn't put colleges like us in a bind as we try to support our students who have those kind of needs.
Well, the college is in a bind by not accommodations, and it's under the ADA and the 504 that we have that, so technically they're all federal.
Understand that. So we could be in a bind by not supporting you, but we could lose all our federal funds and all our federal financial aid if we did abide by that and get in trouble for it. I don't know that we would get in trouble for it now, but that is an issue that does need to be addressed. And so I thank you for bringing that up. I think it's good. Good to bring it up. So, other questions or comments?
I actually had a question about, I know that we have a partnership with, or an agreement with Highlands University as far as using EPBs for credits that they're offering through the Higher Education Center. Are we working on those type of agreements with our other partner institutions?
We will, but we're not quite there yet. We still haven't figured out how to exactly make it work with Highlands, although I think we do have some students that are taking advantage of it with Highlands right now. But we would like to take advantage of that, especially for any programs that are being offered through the Higher Education Center, because that's here. But that is something we do want to look forward to. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
With NMSU and River State University are already testing products in our lab. It's what they introduced to the legislature, so that's public info. So I'm sure that the governing authority is.
Yeah, there's different rules for doing research as opposed to allowing use, and so yeah, so they got permission to do research, but that could be a step one. Could be step one. Come on, rumors. Tell me one or start one. Everybody, I think everybody needs a week off. So.
The only good one I heard was not really a rumor, but it was sort of insulting, and so I thought I would just share it. I was at an event and was talking to somebody who I was telling him, about our new office and about the HEC, and he said, "Oh, you're over by the student ghetto," and I was kind of like, and this was someone. Yeah, this was someone who I would expect a little more support from, based on who he is in the community. And so I thought maybe you should know that at least somebody is using that term.
That's the first time I've heard that. I've heard it talked about as, as an educational hub. The dorms for the Santa Fe University of Art and Design are just kind of around the corner from where the Higher Education Center is. And then if the New Mexico School for the Arts gets their money together, they may build right across the street from the Higher Education Center. And they would have dorms because it's a boarding school. It's a state chartered high school for the arts. And it would allow us to expand some of our dual credit offerings. So we're kind of excited about the possibility of their location there. But yeah, I hadn't heard student ghetto.
Well, I haven't felt that at all spending time there, but I just,
Yeah.
it was just a little shocking, and I just thought I would share it.
Right. Oh, good.
And on the other spectrum, I'd just like to mention that Red Rocks Community College in Colorado has invited themselves yesterday to come meet as a person, because the president and his two VPs are on their way to San Antonio, and they're swinging by San Fe, just because they've heard of us and of his leadership. So, we go from one spectrum to another, where people are completely far away and still hear about us.
We're excited about Red Rocks coming. And when we were actually designing and having the concepts for the Trades and Advanced Technology Center, we actually went to Red Rocks. I didn't, but some others did, to see how they had built some of their facilities for the the more trades related programs and what would they do differently. So we learned a lot from them, and we do partner with Red Rocks right now because we have an OSHA training center here under the auspices of the regional training center that's at Red Rocks. So we've got some good ties with Red Rocks already. So anyway, good. Well,
Randy, good things have come out of student get-ups. I don't think it's the worst thing. I've known some pretty wonderful.
we've all lived in one probably.
Really, not a bad thing.
No, that's true. That's true. Anything else? Yeah, more.
Wondering if it would be possible to maybe get a full-time social worker to help advocate for students. Because not all students like the mental health or, and I know counseling services and just we have some great people here serving kids. But,
So we do have the counselors, we do have the advisors, we do have disability services, we do have the TRIO program for the people who are in the TRIO program. Now we have the Veterans Resource Center, and so they're doing things. They bring a lot of outside resources. The college itself can't really afford to hire all those positions, so we partner with community-based resources and either bring them in or refer people to those resources. So we are looking at potentially in conjunction with La Familia or with the space over there of having a community health center on campus, not just a dental facility. And if that was the case, it'd be open to students and staff and faculty too. But that's still hopefully a near-term dream, So, okay. Are there any more questions in the bowl? Yeah, no, hey. No change. So no change. My opinion on that still is if a staff person can teach in the daytime, they either need to do it part of their load or they need to take annual leave. And we're still going to stick to that for the time being. Okay. Margaret, you got any good rumors? Not real rumors, good rumors. Laura, you dropped your phone. It's right under Julie's foot. Okay. Well, if that's it, we'll make this a short one. Everybody enjoy a week off at spring break or as much time off as you get. I know some of us are working a little next week. The legislature is going all week. So we will be down there to try to protect our current funding and still try to get some additional funding.
we heard that you were buying all of us spring break vacations.
Yeah, I did. You didn't get yours?
Your tickets in your middle.
Your tickets. It didn't say I was buying you a trip. I just bought you a vacation. So anyway. All right, one quick.
The lottery, if anybody can go provide advocacy for that is on Friday at the legislature at 8:30. So they need all the opinions and support of it. A lot of us.
Right. There's still a lot of bills floating around that could have impact on the lottery, and something's got to get done. Otherwise, the percentage that the lottery pays is going to keep going down, and we're hoping that won't happen. So anyway, well, thanks everybody. Have a good week off. Yep.